Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I am going to be speaking a little bit low today because unfortunately after my last comeback I caught COVID and it hit me pretty hard. And one of the places that when I get sick that first gets affected is my voice, my throat. And I've been struggling to get my voice back. It's there a little bit, just a little bit hoarse. So I figured I can talk a little bit low and maybe a little more monotone. And we can get through this video. Now, I purchased these on clearance on HSN. This is one of those Valentine's Day sets from Diamond Press. I'll find the name and I'll make sure I'll put it in the description. But it came with some stamps, all of these dies, and also some stencils. And in all fairness, I tried to make a video. Even though I wasn't using my voice, I tried to make a video, but I just wasn't feeling right. But the heart stencils, it's very pretty. And I paired it with the this die. I just cut it in half and put it on each side. The only thing I didn't calculate for was my center part, so I had to stop. But it is a pretty stencil, and I chose to do it very colorful. But today we're just gonna use this one, and this is the gingham. I struggle with making mail cards, right? And especially like for Valentine's Day, I'm always drawn to the prettier colors and brighter. But I know my husband, if I give him a pink card, he's not happy. So let's not do that. So we're just going to use the gingham, and I think I'm going to just use it with red. I was going to use black. We could do both. We could do one in black and one in red and see how what we like. So let me get that ready and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have two 5.5 by 7 panels, and I'm going to trim them down a little bit more afterwards, so I'm not really worried about the size right now. But I have the gingham, and fun fact, they had sent this with one of the Christmas mixed media sets, and it kind of looks the same except this one's bigger, but this one's called plaid. Am I missing something here? Looks the same. Anyway, so we're just gonna do one in black and one in the red. That way I don't have to go ahead and wash it and dry it. It'll just be ready to go. So let's get a scrap piece of card to put underneath. Let me get that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I know my husband, if I give him a pink card, he's not happy. So let's not do that. So we're just going to use the gingham, and I think I'm going to just use it with red. I was going to use black. We could do both. We could do one in black and one in red and see how what we like. So let me get that ready and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have two 5.5 by 7 panels, and I'm going to trim them down a little bit more afterwards, so I'm not really worried about the size right now. But I have the gingham, and fun fact, they had sent this with one of the Christmas mixed media sets, and it kind of looks the same except this one's bigger, but this one's called plaid. Am I missing something here? Looks the same. Anyway, so we're just gonna do one in black and one in the red. That way I don't have to go ahead and wash it and dry it. It'll just be ready to go. So let's get a scrap piece of card to put underneath. Let me get that. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our card. And I'm just going to tape this down a little bit. I'm not too worried about the edges because I am going to trim it so I can really just grab a little spot and tape it down. Not going too much, but enough so it holds it. And then we have our stencil, and this is personal preference if you don't mind. It's all depending on how much space you want in it. Do you want it even? Do you want it you don't mind it being a little off? That's all up to you. But I kind of want it as even as I can get it. All right. And we could take this down also. This one we're going to do with our red. And we're going to use the Candy Apple from Distress Oxide. It's not a super bright red, but it'll do fine for this project. I'm really going to ink up my brush. Now when I stencil, I just come off and then come off the side. That way the harsh line is there and not on your project. And then start bringing the color in. You can go as dark as you want, as light as you want. That's all up to you. Oops. Okay. So we have that one done. Oh, I see where it came off from. And that's in red. Okay. Now I'll get the black one ready and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we have our black soot. And for this one, we're going to use the plaid one. And I'm just going to hold it and bring in the color. I think I'm going to invest in one of those glass mats that have the magnets that you can do your stenciling on. And that is our black. So we have that one and we have that one. Okay, so let's put those aside for a second. Let's clean up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna trim this down and I want this to look a little more even. So I am going to start by trimming off this side. And I'm gonna go a little bit into the red part. Actually, I'm going to trim this side first because that's going to give me a better edge. Okay. And now I could put this against here and go just a little bit in because over here is a little bit in. just there. And let's cut this part off. And we're going to trim this side because of where I put the tape. Okay, so that's our panel. And we're going to matte and layer this. I'm going to matte it on black, so that'll work. Now, for my stamps, I was thinking of using some of those dies that came with the set. It just looks a little too feminine for what I had in mind, so I'm going to go ahead and pick out some other ones, because I had cut this one out before and it kind of looks like a doily. I mean, it's beautiful. I just wanted to have more clean lines, so it's not going to work for my project today. So let me get my dies. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our love sentiment, and we're just gonna, oops, there, I made a huge mess. Let's stamp it out. I'm gonna ink that well. And come back. And I think one more time I want it really dark. Okay, and that's perfect. Let's take that out. This to the side for now. And now we can run this through our machine. Let's just trim it. And now we're going to just see which side we're going to use. Do you want 2 layers or do you want 3? Oops. I think I'm just going to use 2 layers for this card. All right. So let's even that up. Now, when you're using these inks, you should give it a second to really dry. I didn't, and I got a little smudge, but it's okay. Let's see, how does that look? And our die cutting machine over. And I'm using the Cuttlebug. This one is no longer available. They're no longer selling it. But it's one of the smallest ones I own, and it's easier to put on the desk. So I'm still thinking about the marquee from Diamond Press. So we have that. And now we're going to cut out a piece of our black. Figured I'd do a simple project today so I can gradually get back into the swing of things. Didn't want to overexert myself either. Okay. We have those going on, and then we can figure out what we're going to add to the red. I was figuring maybe some black hearts or something, and then of course matting this on some black also. I think I'm going to stick with the red though, because I'm kind of liking the way this looks. So we have that, and we could pop that up. And I do want some of the black hearts. All I have to figure out is a size. This die right here cuts out these cute little hearts. In fact, there's some on here still. Let's see how cute those are. So I'm thinking maybe I'll run this one through and I can use some of those hearts, and then I'll have this for another project. Let's see how we like those and see how many we're actually going to need. I don't know. I think I want bigger ones. Maybe I'm going to stamp them on. Okay. Now, with this, we can always stamp it in black and then put some glossy accents on it, or you can stamp it and emboss it. I would go with the glossy accents just to make it a little easier. So maybe we'll do one down here. For me, for my eye, it's appealing to have everything in threes. But you do what seems best for you. So maybe put this one here. And then maybe we can add this one up there. Kind of framing this, right? So let's bring this a little down. And then we can do something like that. Okay, I think that's good. All right, let's stamp those on. I'm just going to keep them right there. I'm not even going to move them. Let's get this out the way. All right, let's add some tape. And we're going to use our black ink again. Lift carefully, and let's ink that one more time. Kind of really cover up that red, because right now you can kind of see the pattern underneath. Okay. Once we put our glossy accents on that, you won't be able to see it. So I'm just going to give this a second to set, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are with our panel. And we're going to cut this a little bit smaller than 5. That way when I put it on my card base, I have just a little bit of white around it. Actually, I'm going to cut it at 5 and then trim the other side because it's kind of rough on that side. And then we're going to go a little less than, well, let's trim this first. Now we can come a little less than 5. And the same thing on the 7. Okay, so we have that panel. And I went back and stamped it again with my Versafine, and that really covered that up, so that's good. And this is how it's going to start looking. Okay. Pretty good. Beautiful. Okay. Now, I'm going to mount this one up with some foam tape. Let's cut that there. Now, for me to get this straight, I need this to move a little bit more. So I'm going to add some glue. And it secures it a little bit better. Okay, so we just need to figure out where. And see if that looks good. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then commit. All right. So this is going to go here. And then we can add all of our shine. And then we're going to mount it on the black cardstock. You could even put it at an angle. Well, that looks cute. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Okay, let's glue this one on first. You can pop this up if you want. Just remember, the more height, the more dimension you have, the more it's going to cost you to ship. I'm just looking to see where I like to see where it's even, and I'm going to trim the bottom of this, so that's fine. I think it's a little crooked. Okay, let's see. Gotta get that a little even. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that better. And that'll give us a nice white trim. Alrighty. So that's what we have. And now we can add our sentiment. Okay, so we're gonna add our glossy accents, and we're almost finished with this little guy. So we have that one. Let's do this one. Let's turn this. It didn't need it if you didn't want to put it, but I just like to add that extra dimension so when they touch the card, they feel something. Pop those. And I continue to squeeze just not to get so many air bubbles. So and that's what we have. So we're gonna let those dry. After they fully dry, I'll put it on a card base and I'll take some pictures so you guys can see the finished product. You see it starts looking kind of blue, but when it starts clearing up, it turns the color of your ink. So that's a good thing. Alright guys, that's my simple little project. Thank you for sticking around. Welcome to everyone who's new. I promise things to get better as my voice gets better. But the important thing that my family is fine and we all survived COVID again. Alright guys, I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.